To me, culture hacking is tapping into a medium of culture through the niche of your brand. I know this sounds complicated as fuck. Like I'm saying, to me, culture hacking is using the Fibonacci sequence as a means of further calculating the establishment of your business in the stock market. That's not what this is. Okay, say you're a rapper, you really like fishing. I don't know what's up with me and this fishing shit with the rappers. I personally don't fish myself. Someday, maybe I'll meet a fishing rapper who watches my videos and he'll be like, yo, thanks for all the shout outs. I'll be like, yeah. Okay, so say you're a rapper and you like fishing. You want to get more fans who actually give a shit about your music. So what you do is, I do this with my niche, so long as I have time, you look for podcasts on fishing. If you love fishing more than anything other than rapping, let's be honest, you probably got a lot to say about it. I'm talking about the point where you write songs about it and shit. You should always be writing songs about the specific shit that your brand endorses. So this guy would be talking about bait, fucking, I don't know, looking for locations, maybe talking about the fishing contest you won last month. I don't know anything about fishing. I can't add these terms really well. If it's not specific, it should at least have your brand in common with a lot of other things that you probably write. You will never hear me write a full song about drinking lean and buying Balmains, because the concept of lean, one, means nothing to me other than really just kind of danger, and two, I don't know what the fuck Balmains are. Are they like pants or something? And what's so great about them that isn't great about just a regular fucking pair of pants? Are pairs of pants even great? Like, I thought everyone hated pants. Isn't that like a new trend to hate pants? So why buy new pants? I don't know, but I also don't know what Balmains are, so I wouldn't write songs about them. You're gonna hear me writing songs about self-growth, self-education, self-care, self-awareness, self-love, and how to use those things to live a better life in this fucking chaotic world. So what would I do? I'd look for podcasts on those things and be like, yo guys, I'm a rapper, I write about the same shit you guys talk about in your podcast. Let's talk about those things and it's gonna be awesome. Ideally, you should probably listen to a couple episodes beforehand just so you have a little bit of upfront value to offer. I just recently started doing this and it's a great way, even with smaller people, to just kind of network. Like I said in my Perfect Music is Dead video, which kind of sucked, but it was my first Insights video, or my second. My energy has become less anal since then, and perfect videos are dead anyway. You can find a link to it at the end of this video. I said that your name and face should be seen by your fans as often as the logo of the app that they're seeing them on. Now, why do this? The reason you should do this is that podcasts are blowing up. Podcasts are getting so fucking popular. No matter where you work, no matter where you are, no matter what time it is, someone, somewhere around you is thinking about, talking about, or listening to some fucking podcast. Podcasts are blowing up like those bombs and fires that we're not allowed to talk about in public. This is because podcasts are audio, and audio is a huge thing that nobody's talking about, but everyone's listening to. Obviously, I talk about this in my Anchor tutorial video. It's literally the easiest way to start a podcast, Anchor. Literally, all you need is a phone. A link to which can also be found at the end of this video. Now, the reason everybody seems to be clinging to audio is that everybody's in their own world nowadays. They want to learn about that world, and they want to get these lessons from discussions, interviews, and stuff from like, bro, tell me more about your world, ideally, that's similar to my ideal world, so I can learn about my ideal world, figure out a little bit more about what I want, and maybe I can incorporate that into my world and get closer to that ideal. When you get in the habit of listening to podcasts every day, 1 or 2, 3 or 4, I don't fucking know, it's your life. That's just one more listener under their belt. Then you start fucking telling your friends about it. It's word of mouth, and the value of word of mouth is only going up because nobody trusts bullshit at the end of the day. Podcasts are another means of connecting with people. You find one thing, one interest you all have in common, and you amplify it into this fucking community of dialogue. It's a tribe. Like, find your tribe of fishermen for this. What you're probably wondering now is, okay, Sam, I get it, but where do I find the podcasts? Instagram is where I look and where I find most of mine. I don't have a scheduled time of day like I do with a lot of other things for this, during which I hit up a bunch of podcasts. I just go through all my notifications, and since I target my niche through Instagram more than anything, I'm like, yo, what will I need to do to be hosted for an episode on your podcast? Let's talk about X. A lot of podcasts are looking for people constantly, because that's just constantly what they do. They interview people. They have co-hosts. You could also easily probably find them on Twitter. Another thing is building momentum. The main purpose of this is building momentum. The next wave after podcasts, it's gonna be a bigger one. It's gonna be virtual reality, most likely. But if you catch each wave, you will be getting into the habit of taking advantages of the greatest opportunities of the eras during which your life takes place, period. You're getting into the habit of doing big ass things. So if something like VR comes through and hits you like a fucking brick wall on a freight train, you might not be ready for it. Talking and listening, for me, was always personally interesting. Maybe a smaller wave will be your thing in the future, and you can kind of stick to that. Because there's always gonna be a niche for the smaller waves that happened in the past. And when the niche dies down, it's gonna get amplified when something else comes back in that reminds people of it. But the more waves you take advantage of, the easier it is to be omnipresent. And omnipresence is everything. When you open Spotify, on the day this video is recorded, on July 11th, 2018, the first thing you see today is probably Drake's face in a black album cover. Drake is omnipresent in the music industry. I don't think people need to be omnipresent in the music industry, because people end up omnipresent in the music industry when they're omnipresent in another industry before that. So maybe you want to be omnipresent in the fishing industry and be known as the rapper. That'll be your brand in fishing, and fishing will be your brand in rap. Every fucking fishing YouTube channel, every Instagram influencer, all these people people should be talking to each other every time you drop a new song like, yeah, did you hear that new Lil Fishbait song? Nobody in your niche shouldn't know who you are. I'll put it that way. There are a lot of people in my niche who don't know who the fuck I am, but obviously that's a work in progress, and a lot of these videos are really just giving myself advice, and a lot of these are just notes to self. When everybody knows who you are, you should keep pushing through those waves. When people are like, just do it until. There's no until, just keep fucking going. Because by that point, even if every single person on the planet knows who you are, a lot of those people will be pregnant. Because according to the history of humankind, people like to have kids. And kids like to learn about niches. They really do. So that's my take on building your audience through culture hacking and podcasts. What do you guys think? What am I missing? What podcasts have you been on? Please let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up. There are links at the bottom of the description to all my social media. Also at the bottom of my description, there's a link to my new production equipment kit where you can find all the equipment I use to make music. If you buy any, I receive commission, which helps me build this channel and keep making these awesome videos for you guys. Make sure to leave a like if you like it, subscribe if you haven't already. If you could turn on that little bell to receive a notification every time I drop a new video, that would mean the world to me. You guys can find me everywhere, and I will see you then.